Log into PSLIP. That brings you to the dashboard. Click on the plus to make your notice or permission slip. Here you have two options. Either you can create a brand new notice or permission slip, it's called a form, or you can access permission slips which have been created by other staff members who have shared them as templates. So in the field trips folder of shared notices, I could use the Coastal Discovery Field Trip Notice template, but I'm just going to go with a new form. We're now in the form editor, ready to make our form, and at any time we can click on the preview tab to see the parent view. So you can swap back and forth between the two tabs. Start by entering the title for the trip. And if you look over on the preview, the title has been entered here at the top. This is where you could share this form as a template to everyone else in your school. They would all be able to see it by ticking this box. However, if you just wanted to share it with one or two colleagues, later on there's an option to share a link to the form which you could then email out individually. The form creator is where you identify yourself as the person connected with this form. It's to help the parent know who has created this form and who to contact if they need to. That is populated automatically from the information of your PSLIP login, but it is editable if you wanted to change that. Add the dates for your trip. If it is a one-day trip, as this field trip is, you only need a start date. If it was a camp of a couple of days, you would need a start and end date. Final date for responses is when you want all of the responses back from the parents. So my trip is on the Friday, so I will click the Friday before. On the preview, that is entered at the top and highlighted to let the parents know to get their responses back by this date. Parents cannot submit a response after this date, the cutoff date, but you can always edit it if you haven't got all the responses in. But it is a good guide for the parents to have to help you get your responses in quickly. Form details is your typical editor. You can either type in your information about the trip or copy and paste it. This next section, add question, is where you add any questions you want the parent to respond to. The parent's answers to the questions will automatically populate a response table for you. There are several different types of question. Short answer question is a question for which you perceive the answer would be one line. Something like, what is your mobile phone number? At any time, you could add a little bit more detail by clicking on the plus button here. And by ticking required, the parent will not be able to submit this response unless they have answered this question. Long answer question is for your question with a multi-line answer. This will allow the parent to type in more than one line. I won't make it required. Multiple choice is the question type where you want the parent to select one option from a list of choices. Describe your child's swimming ability. This will be required. And I have two more options I'd like to give. So click Add Choice to add more lines. Let's have a look at how all of these things look on the preview so far. Here is our notice body. What is your mobile phone number? Single line answer. Long line, long answer. Do you have any suggestions to improve this event? Describe your child's swimming ability. These are radio buttons, so I can select one of those. Let's carry on. The next question type. Oh, another option for multiple choice is to add a cost to each choice. It doesn't apply well to this situation, but something where you wanted the parents to select one option from a list of choices, and each different option cost a certain amount of money. Checkboxes you can use to allow the parent to select more than one choice at a time, and once again you can add a cost to each choice. And the great thing is, at the end of the form, it will total up the cost of all of the things the parents selected. Another handy tool is this comment for each checkbox. Next to each choice option that you type in, the parent will have a text box where they can add additional information. This is a good one to use for medical questions. That will be required. Let's have a look at the preview for that. Alongside any options the parents select, have the option for them to type more information. Yes/no question. The most common type of question is this yes/no conditional. This one enables you to add additional information based on whether the parent answered yes or no. This question type is useful because it enables you to combine yes and no with any other question type. It's very handy for transport and supervision type questions. Can you provide transport to Waimarina Water Park? If the answer is yes, I will want to ask an additional question. I will leave questions for no response alone, which will mean that if the parent answers no, they will not see this additional question and they can just move on with the rest of the form. The last option is to enter some text. Text can be quite useful for adding things like your school bank account details or any additional information you want to give before the parent completes the form. Let's take a look at how those final question types look. This was our yes/no question. And this was our yes/no conditional. You can tell it's conditional because there is an ellipse next to the yes. I click yes and I get the additional question, whereas if I had clicked no as the parent, I would just move straight on. At the bottom of every permission form, the parent will be asked to submit their email, their name as the person filling out the form, and their child's name. This is useful because the parent email means that a copy of this response will be sent back to the parent immediately via their email address, their name so that you know who in the family completed the form, and their child's name to allow the permission slip system to recognize that child has made the response. Finally, there is a consent or declaration statement before the signature. Do you give permission for your child to take part in the events and/or activities described in this form? But you can override it by typing in your own declaration statement. If the parent had made any of the choices which included a payment, the total would be here now. If you require two signatures on the form, for example, when both a parent and the child need to sign to give permission, you can click a second signature required. Let's take a look. So here is the declaration statement. Do you give permission for your child to take part? And so on. Yes, I give permission. The parent can sign with a mouse if using a desktop, and with a phone using their finger, the best thing is to turn the phone landscape. And in this case, we had the second signature for the student signature. It hasn't come out the full size here, and that's just because this is only a preview. Once the parent finishes the form, they click Submit, and they also have an option to email the teacher about the form if they have any queries about when filling out the form, and this will come straight into your inbox. So that's my form all done. I will save it and close out of here. You can see my form here. It's not yet been published. I'll show you that in the next video. That means it has not yet been sent out to the students, but it has some basic information: the date last modified, the cut-off date for responses in 7 days' time, when the event is in 14 days' time, and then I can duplicate this form if I wish to use it to make another form of a similar layout. This is where I can get a link to share the form with another teacher colleague, and I would just email that to them, and that form would open up immediately for them in their browser, and this is where I could delete the form.